はい、こんにちは。香川博士です。本を書いたりね、ブログを書いたりするときは、山癖洋二という名前を使ってますね。よろしくお願いします。さてね、今日はですね、アイルランドの人なんですけど、今神戸に住んでるね、ジャック・ケインさんというね、私の古い友人にちょっとインタビューしてみました。何かと言ったらね、海外の人が、このコロナを日本でこうね、どういうふうに受け取っているかなと。いうようなこととか、アイルランドの比較ということについて聞いてみたんですけどね、面白かったのはね、意外と日本のね、政策に満足しているようなところも彼はありながらもね、彼自身の仕事の中で、テレワーキングとか、ズームとかを使って、これからね、英語を教えたり、授業をしたりする。ということについてはね、いろんな試行錯誤が続いているんだなということがね、理解できましたね。身近な話題なんですね、そういう意味じゃね。ですからね、ぜひね、英語の字幕も使いながらね、最後まで見ていただければなと思います。
Hi. So how are you?
I'm very well, Hiroshi.
Okay.
Good to see you.
Yeah. I have a question because you are living in Japan. Okay, under this pandemic. And have you ever you lived in Japan when like a big earthquake happened in Tohoku?
No, I moved here in 2013. So it was
right
2
after
years
that.
after the big earthquake.
I see. Well, there are many complaints at that time when something happened in Japan, chaotic situation like an earthquake or any kind of a pandemic or whatever. Many foreign residents are left alone without any getting proper information. Did you feel similar way?
That's a good question. I think at the start of the corona pandemic, probably yes, but I don't think that was only foreigners. I think Japanese also felt they didn't get enough information from the government. They were a little slow. But once the government started providing information, yes, they did it quite well in English also. Especially, I have to say, I live in Kobe, and the Kobe city office and city government have been very good about updating foreign residents in English almost daily. So yeah, they did a good job of that.
I see. So when you see the general kind of policy of Japanese government talking about the pandemic, do you have any opinion or feedback? Please be frank.
As I mentioned to you, as I said, I'm surprised how lightly Japan has gotten off from the corona pandemic. With such a large population and such a dense population, and with a quite elderly population, it's really amazing that Japan has only had 800 deaths or so. I mean, to put that into perspective, my home country, Ireland, there's been 1,500 deaths, and we have 5 million people. So for Japan, with 125 million, to only have 800 is kind of amazing. So yeah, I think that they have gotten off very lightly. In terms of the government's response, as I said in my previous answer, I do think that they were quite slow to respond. But having said that, the social distancing and the mask wearing has helped a lot. I think those things were kind of part of Japanese culture before the pandemic anyway. So I'm not sure how much the government policy had an effect.
I see. How about your job situations? Because you are teaching English to many people. Did you have any problem because of the distance and the school is closing?
Personally, no, I haven't, because most of the companies I do work for have done online lessons over Zoom. So it hasn't been too bad actually for me. But yes, some of my friends and old co-workers and so on, they've had big problems with that. They've had problems with classes being cancelled, of course, courses being cancelled. They've had problems just especially at the beginning with technology. Both teachers were not so good with it, and also students, especially, again, more elderly students and students who are not so interested in technology or good with technology. It's been a challenge for them.
Comparing the Ireland, how about of course, so-called solution, technological solution inside the school in Japan? it is delay or like a lot of frustration, I believe, we can see like, how do you think about it?
Well, I think it's a global problem. I think it's one that every country and every education system is kind of dealing with. I know, for example, back home in Ireland, in terms of schooling, I mean, we're not sure whether schools will open again this year. We're not sure whether universities will open again this year.
I see.
So yeah, a lot of things will have to be done online that were not done before.
I see. So talking about the teleworking, not teleworking, kind of teleteaching, like a Zoom teaching. Do you have any tactics you found out to avoid the internet fatigue, or are there any method you found out?
That's a good question. It's really important to take a break. It's really important to get up and go for a walk outside if possible between classes. It really is, because if you're looking at a screen and staring directly into a web camera all day, you can go crazy quite quickly, I think. So,
how about the student side? Do you have any tactics about to keep their attention?
Keep their attention. Okay, well, that's a good question too. For students, I do think that they need to. They need to. For the student side,
like a 15 minutes intensive English course in case of that. Through the internet.
I'm just thinking about that, Hiroshi. Most of the classes I've taught, I haven't been in that kind of form. But in terms of that kind of situation, I would say almost the same advice applies, that also the students do need to take a break and get up and walk around too. But I would say that, it's quite a new skill for a lot of people, having to stare at a screen as a way of absorbing teaching and participating in classes. I mean, it's not a natural kind of thing that we've done before. So it does take time to adapt to it. I mean, if students are not so comfortable, for example, with webcams and so on, I mean, my advice to them would be to practice with their friends. I mean, to have a Zoom drinking party with a friend, or to talk to a colleague or something like this. Just practice using the systems, because some people just don't feel that comfortable with it.
I understand. I see. Well, it is ongoing situation right now. Anyway, people need to get used to be maybe next 2 years, maybe.
maybe.
Maybe hybrid can be a good solution in the future.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that's the way the world is going to move towards as well. I think we're going to see a lot more learning from home. We're going to see a lot more distance courses. We're going to see a lot more things conducted online.
Yeah, I understand. Do you have any message to Japanese on the world anyway, based on this pandemic? Last question. Do you have any messages?
It's been a challenge for me, for everyone, just the last couple of months to stay motivated and to stay positive. I mean, it can. I think a lot of people have suffered from having to stay at home and be quite isolated in some cases. So yeah, it's. I'm personally, I'm very happy that we're coming to the end of the lockdown kind of phase, in most countries. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to being able to walk around in the summer sunshine.
I hope you can fly to Ireland to take a vacation, as soon as possible. And
that would be nice.
I wish I could be over there too. Thank you so much. Stay healthy.
You too. You're very welcome.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.